Now, you said you got to where up in New York?
In New York, on Long Island.
Long Island, New York. I bet you bought this car, you headed out to the club, did a little fist pumping.
No, I took care of the car. I never beat on it. You know, in those days, everybody was racing their buddies from one stop sign to another, leaving rubber. I never did any of that.
Well, Skeeter Wyatt never left any rubbers either, but that's because he don't use rubbers. You feel me? All right, Skeeter Wyatt here. We over at the Calls for Paws right now, doing a little benefit for the animals out here. We got a 69 Camaro behind us. What's your name, brother? Pat. All right, Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about this ride right here?
I ordered this car from the dealer when I was 21 years old, summer of '68. I had $3,000 to spend and not a penny more. So I went to see the salesman at the Chevy dealer, and we were going over the list of options, because in those days you didn't have packages, you had option lists and you could pick and choose. I wanted power steering, which I got. I wanted gauges on the console, because I wanted a real oil pressure gauge and a fuel gauge and not the idiot lights, and I got that. I ordered a 273 rear end for high-speed driving.
Okay.
So now the dealer guy is trying to upsell me on options. And he says, do you want one of these? And I said, I don't want that. And he says to me, do you want an FM radio? Now, this is 1968. I go, what the fuck is an FM radio? And he says, I don't know, but it's on the list, and I got to try to sell it to you.
Damn, brother.
So we didn't get the FM radio, and 10 years later, I was wishing I had an FM radio in the car.
Right. You know? So I asked Skeeter Wyatt about Bluetooth in 1999. I said, hell no, brother, but you know how it is nowadays.
Sure
so.
Is. So anyway, this car is pretty much all original. It's running 350,000 miles by now.
Good Lord.
Only go to car shows. Motor's been rebuilt once, but it has the original alternator that it came with, same starter, same carburetor, same power steering pump, same power steering gearbox, same master cylinder. Everything under the hood, and this is 55 years later, is exactly the same stuff it came with when I got it.
Good Lord, 350,000 miles. You know, these people now get 3,500 miles. I got to take it to the dealership to get fixed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the old-time Chevys, you could fix them. You could go to good parts for anything. They had manuals on fixing the alternator, fixing the starter. You could do that stuff yourself, and I did it all the time. So, pretty easy car to maintain.
Hell yeah, brother. Now, what kind of engine you said it got in it?
This is a 327.
Okay.
One of the best Chevy V8s ever made.
You damn right.
Yeah. And the Chevy guy, when I ordered the car, said that it's going to ship with a 307, because they were trying to change out the motors due to the pollution nonsense of the day, right? So it came with a 327. Turns out there was a fire in the factory where the 307s were being made, and they didn't have any to ship with the new models. So the first 2 or 3 months of the 69 Camaro had 327s in it.
Don't lie, brother. You started that fire just to get a 327, didn't you?
I wish I'd have known. And then the subsequent ones will have 307s, which was not a really good engine.
Right.
So the 327, here it is, still running.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Now you said you got to where up in New York?
In New York, on Long Island, $3,000 for the car at the time.
Long Island, New York. I bet you bought this car, you headed out to the club, did a little fist pumping. You know what I mean?
No, I took care of the car. I never beat on it. You know, in those days, everybody was racing their buddies from one stop sign to another, leaving rubber. I never did any of that, and that's why the car is still here. It didn't get beat up. It was taken care of all its life, and still is.
Right.
I've never revved the engine over 3,500 RPMs ever.
Well, Skeeter Wyatt never left any rubbers either, but that's because he don't use rubbers. You feel me?
I gotcha.
Now, up to Long Island, did you drive the car down to Florida, or did you trailer it down?
We drove the car to Florida in the 60s when we bought it. My dad and my brother and I started visiting Florida. We had the car down in the other coast of Florida in 1969.
Damn, going on a road trip with this Camaro, brother. You got any wild stories from that road trip?
Not too many wild stories, but every time we stopped for gas, everybody came to look at the car, because no one in the South had seen a 69 Camaro in December of '68.
Right. So y'all got that advance release, you know what I mean?
We got a lot of attention on the car in those days.
Oh, I bet the women were giving you attention too, brother. You probably got a couple pairs of underwear thrown at you, you know what I mean?
Well, I did, but they were men's underwear from truck drivers from the South.
Hey, listen, brother, you know how it is. I mean, sometimes it's gas, grass, or ass, you know what I mean? And yeah, whatever you got to do, you know what I mean? Now, you said you got a couple stories where you got to use the F word in it. What do we got with that?
Well, the other thing was the guy who was trying to sell me parts for the accessories for the car said, do you want a rear deck spoiler? And I go, what the fuck is a rear deck spoiler? He said, well, it keeps the ass end of the car down on the ground when you're going fast. I said, well, how goddamn fast do I have to be going that I need a rear deck spoiler? He said, maybe 150. I said, come on, man.
150, brother. You going sprint car racing at that point.
I actually had this car up to 105 miles an hour one time in the middle of the night on the highway. But that's as fast as I ever went with the car.
I got you.
Because the motor's revving too high and all that stuff. It's okay. I didn't want to beat up the car, and it's all good. But that's pretty much the story. You just going to car shows now.
I got you. Now you said the 327 is one of the greatest engines of all time.
Well,
listen, brother, I got a 1968 327 in my S10 over there.
Yeah.
I call it the 711 327 because it's always open and whipping some ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good car.
That's what I'm saying. I know you say you don't race it, but you think this Camaro could beat my S10 in a race?
Wouldn't even try.
Wouldn't even try, brother. Listen, I got a reputation, and clearly he knows about that. You know what I mean?
Well, I didn't up till now, but I'll be sure to forget about it as soon as I get home.
Exactly. Well, listen, that's a regular occurrence, brother. It's all good.
Sure it is.
It's all good. Now, you got about 350,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
How much more miles you plan on putting on this thing?
Forever. It'll go forever.
It'll go forever, brother, just like
Skeeter
Skeeter White.
45 years old. He's waiting for me to die so he can get the car. But his son's 23, so he's third on the list for me to die to get the car.
Well, listen, brother, I know you started the fire just to get the 327. Your son might pull some stuff to get this car from you. You know what I mean?
He's very respectful of my car.
Yeah?
Yeah, he is. He's a motorcycle guy, and he builds Jeeps. He's respectful.
I got you. Yeah, we'll see when I see your name in the obituary. I'm going to come right after him and start questioning him. You know what I
When I
mean?
get to the point where I can't drive the car anymore, he'll take over it. But I got a few more years of driving to car shows, winning some prizes.
Hell yeah.
It's all good. We're having fun, right?
Hell yeah. So any other good stories you got in this car? You had it for a long time,
That's
so.
it.
That's it. All right. Well, I appreciate your time, brother.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.